Hey everyone, welcome to our Team Nailed It team meeting tonight. We are really excited to have Diana talk to us tonight about optimism with out of stock, because it happens in lots of companies. It happened in her previous company, and she's found some roundabout ways to work with it. So she's going to share some of those ideas with us. But first, while everyone's hopping on, I want to see all of your beautiful nails. Mine weren't at the plaza. They're kind of fading, but I really love this color. And Shannon's, yours are gorgeous. Lindy, what are you wearing? Wait, let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Broadway Glimmer with Blue Lagoon.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's a little party on my hands.
So you've got just a couple Blue Lagoon accents. Nice. Okay, what were you, Sarah, what are you wearing?
None.
Say it again.
Butterfly Garden.
Ooh, I wish I could see that a little close, a little better.
Sorry, it's on my phone.
Oh, there, that's good. Better. Yeah. You know, I love me some pink. Lachelle, what do you wear? Do you have naked nails?
I just took mine off yesterday.
It's good. It's good for him to have a breather. All right, we're going to turn the time over to Diana. Thanks you guys for sharing. And Diana's just going to share some awesome tips with you on how to deal with out of stock. So take it away, Diana, and tell everyone a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. So yeah, that's how I thought I would kind of get started tonight, is just kind of introduce myself. So my name is Diana Toronto. I grew up in Northern California, but I'm living in Twin Falls, Idaho right now. I'm a mama. I'm a boy mom. I have two little boys, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm married. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I've actually been in network marketing for almost 2 years now. And I just joined Color Street last month. And so I'm totally excited to be here and be a part of Color Street. And my previous network marketing company went through a crazy growth phase, and we had crazy out of stock issues. And I'm so excited to give you guys some tips and tricks and just get you excited and kind of get you into the right mindset and kind of help you deal. The first thing I want to say, though, is I'm a pretty positive person. I mean, I'm real, but I'm pretty upbeat. So I just want to preface all of this with, just because I am upbeat about it doesn't mean that this is the only way that you're allowed to feel. You're allowed to feel frustrated with out of stock issues, and that it's okay to feel that way. And we'll kind of talk about some different ways to work through all those things. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of background about this other company I was with. So they've been around for a long time, but they kind of exploded over the last couple of years. And they had foreseen the growth that was coming, and they were already taking steps to bump up manufacturing and all these different things, but they couldn't keep up with us, with the stylists of that company. And so we got to a point, and that company has a ton of product, lots and lots of products. And we got to a point where all of it, everything, not just our premier product, but everything, all of it was out of stock, everything. And did you know that during that time that company continued to recruit, and the leaders on our team were continuing to recruit, continuing to sell, continuing to have success. And people were surprised by this and okay, so what? How are you doing this? So that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. So how does this apply to Color Street, though? So as you guys have noticed, that the out of stock issue has gone way down. We're down to just a couple of styles that are out of stock, which is fantastic. But guess what, guys? And this is kind of an exciting thing. We're going to have more out of stock issues. It's going to happen. That's what happens with growing companies. And any company, whether network marketing or regular retail or anything, always has a percentage of their product that's out of stock. That's just life, okay? But this is kind of an exciting time to be with Color Street and to see the out of stock issues. And we'll kind of talk about why that's so great. So I kind of have 3 big points for tonight. So the first one is your mindset that is going to help you navigate through out of stock issues. And kind of number 2 is the future of Color Street and what's coming. And then number 3, like, here's some practical tips on just straight up how to survive when those times come and you are feeling frustrated and you're not sure how to deal, like just some practical everyday how-tos. So number 1, we'll talk about mindset. So you guys have heard this a million times, I'm sure, but your vibe attracts your tribe. And that is absolutely the truest statement ever. So however you are feeling, whatever you're projecting to your customers and your people that you're talking about joining your team, that rubs off on them, right? So they can pick up on your vibes. So here are 2 scenarios. Here's one. Hey, Katie G, I'm so excited that you're interested in Color Street. And she says something about, well, I noticed you've been posting a lot about that a lot of stuff is out of stock right now. So I'm a little wary of wanting to join your team right now. I mean, how am I even going to deal with that? And then you can respond in one of 2 ways. Oh my gosh, I know, it's so frustrating and it's so hard to deal with. I can never get what I want and I'm losing customers all the time because of it. Okay, so you can like see how, I mean, that's going to make an impression on her, right? Or here's the other way that you can approach it. Oh my gosh, you're totally right. It's so exciting right now to be a part of this because our company is just exploding. We're just like ground level and they like can't even keep up with us because we're doing so much. I am part of an amazing team. We really work together. We strategize together to deal with it. And I know that you can be successful. All right. So when you talk about your mindset, and you have to be authentic. You can't fake that, right? So if your mindset is, this is exciting, this is an exciting growth period, I'm excited about it, I can deal with it, it's not a big deal, and you portray that and you're authentic to that, your customers and your prospects are going to see that. So it's really important how you word things. So instead of advertising on your VIP groups, like, these are all the ones that are out of stock right now, you're going to want to instead, obviously, focus on the things that are available, okay? And just a side note about all of this is it's okay to feel frustrated. I kind of prefaced that a little bit ago. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this and act like it's not a valid concern because it is valid. How you feel is real. Pardon me, I just had pizza for dinner. It keeps coming back. Sorry. It's okay to feel that way, and it's okay. And you are going to have good days where you're like, yeah, I can rock this. It's not a big deal. I got it. And then there's going to be days where you're like, I can't do this anymore. It's so frustrating. And my suggestion there would be is to, and you may have already heard this tip, but is to complain up, not down. And what that means is go to the person who recruited you and talk to them and tell them your frustrations and make a game plan with them of how you can work through those challenges and find solutions. Instead of, let's say you're a team leader, complaining to the girls that work underneath you. Because again, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So and when they come to you and they're complaining and are frustrated because you've already gone to your upline and gotten some tips and tricks and solutions and worked some things out, you have the tools you need to talk to them and to keep them positive, to keep them motivated, and you have actual tools, not just fluff and sugarcoat. Like, you can do it. Keep on going. It'll be fine. Work harder. Like, that doesn't work for everybody. It's personality types, right? So you want to have concrete ways to and solutions for them. Okay, so that's kind of all about your mindset. Is you just have to like set your mind and say, okay, I can look at it like this, that I'm losing customers and I'm feeling frustrated and it's the worst, or this is pretty cool, this is amazing, and here's why. So the second thing I want to talk about is kind of the future of Color Street. So with any company, whether it's an MLM or not, whether it's direct sales or not, it doesn't matter. They kind of go through these different phases of growth. And this is just across the board. And they have to kind of reach certain milestones. Like they have to have been open for more, they have to have had their doors open or whatever for more than 5 years. That's kind of a big benchmark because a huge percentage of companies fail in their first 5 years. So even though Color Street is a brand new company, only the network marketing side of it is brand new. Okay, so our founder, he's been around for a long time. He's been making this product for a long time. He's been perfecting it for a long time. And so even though we're a brand new company, we can have faith in Color Street. They're not going anywhere, and they're going to totally take care of us. So that's one way to help set your mindset, is thinking about what the future for Color Street is we can have total faith in the company. And the out of stock isn't really bad right now, like I said, but it may get bad again. And that is a good thing. And I know that sounds so backwards, but the reason that's a good thing is because it means that we are growing at a crazy amount that they can't keep up with us, okay? And I guarantee you that Color Street has done projections. They see the future, and they're already taking steps to amp up their manufacturing. I don't know that, but I know it in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, these people know what they're doing. So as they're doing that and as they're prepping, there is going to be some growing pains because they're not sure how fast we're going to grow. They can see the projected path we're on, which is bright. The future is bright with Color Street. Now is a lovely time to join. You know, this is a really exciting opportunity. So the company knows what's coming, and I promise you that they are preparing for it. But there may be out of stock issues because it's not like they can just like go to Walmart and buy the, factory, what's the word I'm looking for? The machinery.
Yeah.
That does all of their to make the nail sets. Those don't exist. Okay. Every time a company has to grow their manufacturing, is they have to special order the machines that, and then they have to come and be installed. And sometimes if they're not working right, they have to be disassembled, sent back to the people that made them, fixed. And so like there's some moving parts. It's not like this all of a sudden overnight they can fix, they can have more in manufacture. That's just not how it works. And I promise you, they're already taking those steps to get there because they're projecting what the future is. So the future's bright with Color Street, and you can have faith in the company because they're going to take care of us. Okay. And now number 3, let's just have some straight up practical tips on how to survive out of stock, because those are all nice. Like, okay, well, I can change my mindset. I can try and be more positive. I can have faith in the company, but like, what do I do? Like, what do I do right now? So number 1, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Focus on what is available right now, today, and maybe you do different things in your VIP group to get people excited about that. Maybe you pick 4, styles that you think would go well together, and they can mix and match the nails together or whatever, that are all in stock that day, and you advertise those. Okay. So you're only going to advertise what's in stock right now. Now I know stuff goes out of stock throughout the day. That just happens. But instead of posting a list or something of what's not available, focus on what is available always. You can do bulk orders. You can tell all the people in your VIP group that you're putting in a bulk order that night or within 24 hours. And then you'll advertise what's available right then. Of course, maybe 1 or 2 of the styles go out in that time, but how many people is that going to affect on your bulk order list? Maybe 1 or 2, okay, at most, right? And so you can work around that, and we'll talk about some ways how to work around that. The benefit of bulk orders, of course, is that people can pay you directly through Venmo, through PayPal, through Square, whatever works. You gather up their money, you place your 300 PV order, hopefully, so that you can be queue for the month, and you can give an incentive with that, like free shipping or whatever you want to do in order to get those out to people. But that allows you to BQ. We have seen tons of videos on how to BQ, or not tons of videos, but like videos and different resources about how to BQ in 24 hours. Take those resources and like put them through the lens of the out of stock issue. or the challenge and think about, okay, how can I tweak this idea to make it work for me? Another idea is do your live sales on your Facebook page or on your VIP group and advertise the nails that you actually have in stock in your hands right then. And the reason that's amazing is because you know you can send those nails to them because you have them, whether or not they're out of stock on the website or not, doesn't matter at all. And then of course, live events, same thing. When you go to do a live nail bar or you go to do a vendor show, whatever you have in your hands, you sell that, okay? And I am going to talk about a little bit in a minute, well, what do I do if I don't have inventory yet? So I am going to talk about that. So for those of you whose minds are going, that's great, Diana, but I don't have inventory. What do I need to do? So let's get into that actually right now. So with this other company I was with, we were all about finding dupes or comparable styles or, coming up with ways when somebody would say, I want X and X was out of stock and I didn't have it in my personal inventory and I couldn't find it to trade with anybody else, any other stylists. We had kind of, okay, well, here's the suggestion for the customer. So what I would do is I'd give them options. For example, they say, I want New York Minute and it's out of stock, let's say. And you go, okay, so number one, I have to make sure what my mindset is. I have to set my mindset. My mindset is I'm positive and it's not a big deal. Now I'm going to communicate with my customer. I'm going to say something along the lines of this. Hey, I'm so glad you picked that one. I love New York Minute. It is fabulous. It's so gorgeous. I know you would love it. What's going on right now is actually out of stock on the website. And so let me tell you what some comparable styles are for us to choose from. You don't necessarily immediately jump to, well, let me see if I can find them. Let me see if I can do a trade. Like maybe I can find them for you because maybe you can't, And trades aren't a sustainable business practice anyway. That's really only when we have 20, 30 styles out of stock. That's when it's going to be okay to do trades. But when our list is short, you don't want to do it. And I'll explain why in a minute. So I would give them options immediately before I even sent it. I would get them pick collage. I'd have a couple of styles in mind that are similar. Like, okay, so like what are some purples that could be similar? I could recommend Saigon Queen. I could recommend, whatever. I'd make a quick little collage and I'd send it to her and I'd say, hey, I made you this custom collage, present it in a way like I took the time to think about what you might like, and maybe there's not a comparable style in that color, but maybe there's, you can look at the rest of her order and you can say, I think that this would go well with your order. These would be good accent nails and you could do a mani and switch the accent nail. You know what I mean? Like there's different options. And they're going to appreciate that because you took the time to connect with them and think about what they liked, to personalize it rather than just like, well, I mean, it's out of stock, so I'm sorry, I can't get it for you. Because our business is all about creating relationships, right? So when you take the time to connect with people and make them feel personalized and customized and that you took time and you're invested in them, they're going to be okay with it, especially depending on how you word it, like we talked about earlier. If you word it like, well, I'm sorry, it's out of stock. It's really frustrating. I'm sorry. There's lots of options you can say. Okay, so it's not available right now. Here's this custom collage that I created for you that I think would work well with your other styles. And they say, oh, those are all nice. I don't want those. And you go, okay, great. Let me talk to my upline. Let me see if I can do a trade or, like you just have to, you just present it in a positive way. And you're going to find that if you tell them like our company's exploding right now and they can't even keep up with the demand because it's so popular. So that style's out of stock right now, and here's my solution for it. Most of the time they're going to be totally understanding of it. So you can have them pick something else. You can figure out if you can do a trade, or you can wait and tell them, okay, so it's not available right now, and I'll let you know the second it comes back in. And a lot of times people will even want to prepay, and so that you'll snag it for them, or there's lots of workarounds with all of that. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're like, hey, let me see if I can find some comparable styles, because it kind of like distracts them from the problem. And then suddenly you're presenting a solution. And then I know for me, if someone did that to me, I'd be like, oh, sweet. Okay. Like, I don't know. You just focus on shopping again instead of like, I can't do
Right?
it, you know? And one thing that I've done before is if it's out of stock, like if they want to do the buy 3 get 1 free, but like one of the ones they want is out of stock, but I have it, I'll say, you know what, why don't you get the ones, you know, get the 4 that you want. And then like I can send you the 4, you know, sometimes I'll even send them that one that's out of stock at my own cost, or you can like, you know, send it to them and have them trade you. I mean, there's always like a solution.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you go into out of stock challenges with the mindset of, I can find a solution, it's not a big deal, then even if you feel frustrated, because that's okay, remember, even if you go into it like that, like they're going to be able to sense that, like, oh, she's going to find a solution for me. We're going to work this out. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, so I think if you do that custom collage, like you were saying, and you say, like, I made you a custom collage of all the other styles, that totally shows that you care and you took the time to like problem solve.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what they want. Like part of the shopping experience is I didn't just get exactly what I want, but I also had a nice shopping experience, right? Because you don't want them just to like the product. You want them to like you, because you want them to come back to you and be loyal to you, and not, let's say their neighbor next door becomes a color street stylist down the road. You want, I mean, that's lovely, but you want them to still be loyal to you, right? So you want to create that relationship with them so that they want to keep coming to you, even though it's more convenient to run over next door to the neighbor's house, right?
Yeah, it's almost like, think of yourself as like a personal shopper for them, you know, because like I feel like nowadays people want their hand held, and they're kind of lazy, so they don't want to actually like go check out. Sometimes I'm speaking for myself as
so true.
I'm like, can you just buy it and I'll Venmo you, like. And then, like, for example, I was looking for a jean jacket, and I was like, can someone just send me links of a jean jacket? So I'm in like this fashion Facebook group, and like people sent a bunch of links, and then my sister-in-law texted me a bunch of links, and I was like, sweet. Like now I have to look at these 3 links and I'm good. So it's kind of like what you're saying. You just put it out there and like, here's your options.
Yeah.
And people love that.
For sure. Absolutely. So moving on, I would just say that, you know, there's lots of solutions, and I would recommend that your last final resort solution be that you trade. And I would recommend that you trade within your team, trade with your upline, don't trade with strangers, and that you always replace the trade. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you do a live event and you sell all of your nails that you had in your personal inventory. You don't just take all of that as take-home pay and you're done. You turn around and you take and you spend it on more inventory coming to you, because that sale that processes is going to be, you'll get your commission back on that. So you're still getting paid on those nails and you're refilling your stock. So you always, always, always turn around. And it's not that you're investing money and you're not making any profit. You are making profit, because once you make that purchase, your commission will come back to you immediately that week. So, and again, I'd say trading is kind of a last resort, and only in kind of when we get into crazy out of stock issues, if that ever even happens. And the reason is because you want to bonus qualify every single month. So even it's great that you sold 300 of your personal inventory, but you're still not bonus qualified for the month. So if you have a team, if you're making commission on your team, and you're like, you got a BQ, right? So always be a smart business person about how you go about those things. Now, with out of stock challenges, this may change up how you do Facebook parties, nail bars. Okay, so we have a tried and true method, you know, that you feel comfortable with. You already have your script written out. Great, it's working wonderful for you. Guess what? Sometimes if out of stock gets crazy, you might have to change it up. So let's say you've been doing, you know, 7-day parties or 10-day parties. That can get tricky, because somebody signs on day 1 They're interested and excited about it. They pick their 4, but then their kid comes in, they get distracted and they forget about it for 3 days. Then they get back on Facebook and they go, oh yeah, I wanted to order. They get onto order and 3 of their styles, let's say, are out of stock. And then they're just like, okay, well now I'm not going to order. Right? And you haven't even had any personal communication with them at all yet because you didn't know that they were going to buy. You know what I mean? You haven't created a relationship because you didn't even know they were going to buy. So you might have to change up how you do Facebook parties. You might need to be doing, the 1-hour Facebook party or, so that time condenses down. Or I know some people have been leaving parties open longer, waiting for things to come back in because things come back in pretty fast. But this previous company I was with, it was months and months and months sometimes before what I wanted or what my customers were waiting for would come back. Like, that was really hard, and we still survived. The people that, pushed through, like, they promised us a date, like, we're going to be back in stock. I promise, kind of, here's the timeline of what we project. And a lot of people left and were frustrated and were like, I'm done. And guess what? The people who stayed, company was true to their word. It all was back. We were up to full manufacturing again. It wasn't an issue, right? So, so you might have to change how you do your Facebook parties so that you can either do the 1 hour or extend it out, knowing that things do come back fast, which is so great. Now let's talk a tiny bit really quickly about, like, okay, so what if I don't have the inventory? How am I supposed to handle this? How do I go about this? Or I don't have the money to invest to get inventory, to do a live sale, so we've talked about, like, doing a live sale, but doing a bulk order live sale, and you're advertising. Maybe you come up with a fun idea, like, here are the top 10 styles that are in stock, and I'm going to order in an hour when this live part is over. And I've been advertising all week, getting people excited about it. So lots of people show up to this live Facebook event that I've created. And after this hour is over, I'm going to order. Okay. That hour, you're going to be safe, probably stuff's not going to go out of stock. Right. So, you can do things like that. And guess what? We all start out, when we get our enrollment kit, we all start out with those nail sets. Now you can just keep those and use them yourself. But if you're thinking like a businesswoman, if you're thinking like an entrepreneur, your thought is, okay, well, I'm going to keep my favorite 2 and I'm going to sell the rest, because I want to make back my investment as fast as I can, or whatever. And then, or you have, maybe in your brain, you have set aside a certain percentage that you want to invest back each month, or you say, okay, well, I'm going to go do a live nail bar tonight, and the profit I make from that, I'm going to invest into some more personal stock because I have another nail bar coming up next week, and I want to make sure that I have stuff available. So you have to think like a strategic, business person in order to survive out of stock. So so just to recap a little bit, make sure you have your mind set, like solution-oriented mindset. And it's okay to be frustrated, like I've said. You don't have to sugarcoat things. You've got to be authentic. But you can set your mindset, and you can, be solution-oriented even if you're frustrated. Number 2, the future's bright with Color Street. Even if things do get worse before they get better, this company is amazing. They take good care of us. I've only been here for just over a month, and I can already see that. I totally can see that. And so have faith in Color Street, and the future is bright for us. We're going to explode, and it's going to be totally worth it. And number 3, we talked about different ways to survive. Be creative. Brainstorm ideas. Don't keep them to yourself. Like, brainstorm with your team, or if you don't have a team, brainstorm with your upline. Come up with ideas. Come up with solutions. Get twice as creative as you've ever been before, and you can find a solution that's going to help you survive and make it through. So I only touched on the things that I could think of, but I kind of, open it up to you guys and recommend that you go to your teams, go to your circle of friends here in Color Street, the other stylists that and brainstorm and come up with tons more ideas on how to survive. Because right now, not so stressful. As we continue to grow, might get hard again. No big deal, because we're solution oriented. So I hope that gives you guys some fun ideas, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Diana. And I'm just going to add a couple things to that. And then I'm going to open it up to you guys to share any tips maybe you have about ways to work with out of stock items and any questions that you might have. So get ready with those questions. But I wanted to share that one thing that really helps is signing up for the texts that Color Street now offers. I believe you have to text the word Color Street to the number 555-888. So if you text them, they will give you text updates as they happen so that you can, like I just got one today at 3:50 p.m. Saying that Giza Sands and Sahara Jewel and Venetian Masquerade are back in stock. And so I love it because then I will copy this information and I'll paste it in my VIP group with a link to my site. And I'll just be like, guys, these 3 are back in stock. Here's my site to shop. Like anytime they send me an update, I send my VIP people an update because who knows, you might have girls that are like waiting and dying to know when Giza Sands gets back in stock. So make sure that's a simple way to post in your VIP group and make them feel like you're giving them the latest updates that you're getting. Also, I wanted to share too, with those texts that you get, it also gives you, when you click on it, it gives you a download. It says, click here to download a PDF of currently available shades. So let's say you are doing like a bulk order or whatever, you could post this PDF and be like, hey guys, I'm doing a bulk order in the next, 24 hours. Here's a link to the PDF of everything that's in stock. Comment below with what you want, so you don't have to like make this graphic or anything. You can just literally post the PDF or the link to the PDF and share it with them. So those are just some 2 tips to help you guys that I do. Do any of you guys have some tips that help or questions for Diana?
I do.
Okay.
When I did my launch party, there were so many solids out of stock, and I was just starting in the company, so I had no clue if they'd be back in or not. And that's what all my people wanted because they didn't yet know how fabulous the glitters are, right?
Yes.
And they all wanted like the blush and the Giza Sands, and they were out. Mm-hmm. So I just posted in my group out of stock wish list and put in there that I've got it pulled up right here, that Color Street is working hard to keep up with demand. I feel like, that makes people want it even more if they know that it's in demand, right? And that if they will let me know in the comments which sets they want, that I'll be sure to let them know as soon as they're back in stock. And so I just watched it every day and I was able to tag them, and that just gets to, it illustrates that I provide good customer service. And there was a lot of interaction on that post too. So, and I also mentioned like with the solids, if people are interested in the nude solids, then they're going to love the French manicure, and it's buy one, get one. So
that's brilliant.
And they all ended up coming back in stock before my party was over. So
right. I know that's the great thing is they all eventually, especially I've noticed a pattern. It seems like the beginning of the week, they tend to come back in stock. So keep that in mind. That's what I tell some of my customers. I'm like, let's wait till Monday, because I feel like they always have stuff on Monday when they're posting new ones. Any other tips or questions you want to share?
I'll just say, what I noticed that was great about that last tip is that what it did is it created excitement. And whenever you can create excitement for your customers rather than just besides just like creating that personal connection that we talked about, whenever you can create excitement or like this feeling of, oh, I got to have it. It came back in stock. I need it. Whenever you can create that, that's a fun shopping experience for people too. And it's contagious and they all want in, you get a high from that. You know what I mean? So whenever you can create excitement, do it.
Yeah, and it creates like a sense of urgency. Like I get crazy when I'm like, there's only a few left. Like I need them, even if I don't need them.
For sure.
Lindy, quick question. Do you, when you post that they're back in stock, like do you go back to that post and comment? Like where, because it might be smart to keep like bumping that post up
I did. I had that post was long and it had a lot of interaction. I would go back under where they would say like Giza Sands at the plaza, and I would comment underneath it that it was back in stock. And then I would also, because they brought in this fabulous new text thing, do the same thing as you did, immediately put that into, and it's like an excuse to put your website out there and advertise on your VIP group without being obnoxious. You're just being very kind to let them know that it's back in stock.
Yeah. And another thing you could do that I just popped in my head is you could also personally message them, because that's a great way to like start a conversation.
Yeah.
Plus, when you personally message people, they see more of your posts. Like, I think that's part of the algorithm, is that when you're messaging them, Facebook is like, okay, these people are important to her. She's obviously having conversations with them.
That's great.
And so they show up, you show up more in their feed if you're friends. So another idea. Any other questions or tips you want to share? We have about 2 minutes before we get cut off. All right, cool. Well, I'm just going to wrap it up then. Thank you so much, Diana. It's awesome to hear your problem-solving solutions, and I love what you said about mindset. I think it's huge. Really, it's about just having, seeing it as a glass half full. And it is pretty amazing that, we have that problem sometimes, because you guys are killing it, and I'm so amazed by our team. So just keep it up, ladies. And thanks again, Diana. Have a good night, guys. Bye.